So as you probably guessed, this video is about Romania, and I wanted to make this video because it seems like a lot of people kind of underestimate how amazing Romania is. Everyone's trying to go to Spain or France, you know, they want to visit Paris and Barcelona, and it just kind of gets swept under the rug, and it's kind of sad. So yeah, I'm gonna go over some of my favorite things about Romania. I also have been learning Romanian language for quite some time, so I'm gonna go over that a bit and how I picked it up and what really helped me learn more. And then I'm also just gonna go over some places to visit and specific foods and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and say some things in Romanian. It might not be the best, but I will try and talk a little bit, you know, in Romanian about how I learned Romanian. Când am ajuns în România, n-am vorbit limba română deloc. A fost foarte greu pentru mine, pentru că când am ajuns la țară acolo, n-am putut să vorbesc cu nimeni. Și ei nu vorbeau limba engleză acolo la sat, știi, și a fost foarte greu să vorbesc cu cineva. A fost distractiv, dar cred că ultima dată când am ajuns în România am învățat mult mai mult și am stat acolo un an și un sfert și am avut o profesoară din București și m-a ajutat cu limba română și am înțeles gramatica după aia și a fost mult mai ușor. Și am călătorit peste tot în România și când am mers la Marea Neagră, am vorbit cu cineva acolo la o pensiune și el a crezut că eu sunt un român și sunt din Cluj sau poți să zici Ardeal, și el a crezut că am un accent ardelenesc și aia a fost un moment mega tare pentru mine, pentru că am fost sigur că el crede că sunt american, că am un accent american, dar el a crezut că sunt un român adevărat și după aia am înțeles că am învățat mult mai mult comparativ când am ajuns acolo în România prima dată. Și acum sunt în America, dar vorbesc un pic fiecare zi românește și din cauza aia știu cum să vorbesc un pic, dar nu sunt fluent. Nu mai am ceva să zic, dar yeah. So that's about all I can say in Romanian about me learning Romanian, but yeah, some Americans literally have no idea what Romania even is, and I've heard things like, oh, is that part of Russia? A lot of people still think Czechoslovakia is a thing, so they just think it's part of this they're like, oh, is that in the Soviet Union? It's disclaimer, there is none of that is going on anymore, so you gotta catch up on your geography and history and stuff. To let you know, Romania is more so a Latin island in Eastern Europe. It is not a Slavic country, although its language has slight Slavic influence. So it's not necessarily going to be exactly like every Slavic country that you would think of, and it has a lot of unique stuff to offer. It's also very safe. A lot of people think that it's super sketch. There's actually, just speaking from an American's standpoint, there's not a lot of guns in Romania. That makes it pretty safe. I have never once found myself in a sketchy situation due to sketchy people being around me or anything. I felt more safe in Romania than I have in most every country I've ever traveled to. My top 3 things that I liked about Romania and kind of the top 3 reasons to visit it are 1, the landscapes, 2, the culture and food combo, and 3, kind of the history and like historical things that you can see and experience. When I first arrived in Romania, I had no idea the amount of like incredible nature it could offer. I was super impressed, you know, all these little picturesque like little hut kind of houses, like shacks with just like, you know, smoke coming out of the chimneys and cows going around and carts being pulled by donkeys with like hay. And yeah, it was like really impressive, and it was just like a crazy feeling to be immersed in that culture in the countryside. But nearby is also some insane like nature, like national parks. I would say my top 3 are Parcul Național Apuseni, which is near Cluj-Napoca in the northern Romania. I would say all of the area around Brașov. You have Sinaia, you have Piatra Craiului, and then around Bușteni, there's also some amazing nature as well. That's kind of on the, that's a little bit like southeast of Cluj-Napoca. And then of course, like the Munții Făgăraș, that's like got the Transfăgărășeni road that was on Top Gear. It's just like a windy road, super picturesque coming down from the mountains. Those are probably the most like famous and coolest spots in my mind. The food there is insanely good, and I think a lot of people probably unfortunately don't end up in the right spot. You gotta like go out in the countryside a bit for some of the places. Some other places are in the city. Cholan, which is like a pork knuckle that is really soft on the inside and crispy on the outside, served with like some polenta and some pickled vegetables. Tocana, paprikash, or like tocana de pui. Sarmale is not unique to Romania, like it being called that is, but it's like the cabbage rolls with minced meat inside. Soups are insane. Like they have these really rich soups called, ciorba. Romania has like a really cool like going back in time culture. You'll be in like these tiny villages, you know, that you would imagine from like a film about like the medieval times or something. And I know you're probably like, oh, there's castles in a lot of other European countries, but the cool thing about Romania is that like you're not gonna have to wait in a line everywhere for the castle in a turnstile of 1 million people. Like the most popular spots will have something like that, but a lot of spots are literally just like low-key random trails in the middle of nowhere that will head out to like a big citadel on a hill, and you can just kind of on your own like go explore. I know that some people will argue that that also is kind of a double-edged sword with like people protecting these areas from vandalism and stuff, but you know, you have a lot more freedom to explore like some incredible, really, really old history. And besides like the castles and all that, they have like a really rich, like traditional old Romanian culture, you know, like before the communist times, there was kind of like, you know, people like creating their own like amazing, colorful clothing. And there's like really cool kind of historical villages that show what it was like, how they made things like way back in the day.